Get You Right Premier Sports. That's the brand. Get familiar with it. What up, y'all? Welcome to the 19th episode of That Real Shit Sports Talk. I'm doing a bit of an impromptu episode today, but I wanted to speak on the college football playoff, and I haven't yet. So let's get into that shit. Ohio State, LSU, Alabama, Penn State, Clemson, Georgia, Oregon are the 7 teams I think still have a legit shot at making it. Today's Friday, November 8th, 2019. Tomorrow, LSU and Alabama play. I think whoever loses that game, if they win out, they're still going to make the playoff. Whether it's LSU or Bama, whoever loses that game, as long as they win out, as long as they win each game after this weekend, they're still going to make it to the Final Four, I think. Ohio State and Penn State are going to play each other eventually, and they're going to one of them is going to lose, and they're going to get canceled out. I kind of think this was the easiest move the committee could make, putting Penn State in there, because they know they're probably going to lose to Ohio State. So I think it was easy for the committee to put them up in there over Clemson. Clemson ain't really played nobody, but they're the defending champs, and I think they're just kind of sleepwalking through the season, kind of like the Warriors do and have done. Sleepwalk through the regular season and wait until it matters to really turn it on. So I do think Ohio State will win out, even though they just lost Chase Young with some self-reported allegations today. I think I read he took a loan from a family friend, whatever that means. He paid the loan back, but Ohio State self-reported it and is kind of getting ahead of the ball before the NCAA could come crashing down on them. So I do think that'll affect Ohio State's defense tremendously, but I think their offense is too good. Nobody in the Big Ten is going to be able to score with Ohio State, so they're going to win out. So the question is going to be, will Clemson be able to win out? If Clemson wins out, they'll be in. I don't think the committee wants to see 3 SEC teams. So I don't think even if Georgia wins out that they're going to make it, unfortunately. That loss that they took to, I think, South Carolina this year was a big loss and a game they should not have lost. Plain and simple. Now, Oregon. Oregon is on the outside looking in. But I think if they win out convincingly, they're going to get some votes. Because they won all 9 of their conference games, and they'll have won their conference championship game at that point. So I think the Ducks have a slim chance of getting in. In the event that the committee decides to not let a one-loss LSU or Alabama get into the Final Four, pending that Oregon wins out, they'll get in. If the committee's like, LSU lost, we don't want them in the Final Four, Oregon will get in. Or if Alabama loses this weekend, I think the committee won't let them in, and they'll put Oregon in there. Even though LSU and Bama are probably better teams than Oregon, I think they just want to see somebody new. And I do. I want to see a West Coast team in that bitch. So I think it's going to end up being – and hold on. Before I predict that, LSU's going to win this game this weekend. I said it a couple weeks ago. I said it about a month ago. Joe Burrow's on a tear. Even with a healthy or not healthy Tua, LSU's going to win this game this weekend. You heard it here. And a lot of people are jumping on that bandwagon, but go back a couple episodes. I called this a month ago. So I think the final college football playoff rankings will look like LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, Oregon. Which is crazy. I know it's crazy. Because that means Alabama would not get in. But if I'm going to stay true to what I believe, I think LSU's the better team this year. It's really going to come down to whether the committee is going to let a one-loss Alabama team in over a one-loss Oregon team. I'm biased. I'm a West Coast dude, so I want to see Oregon in that motherfucker, not Alabama. Even though Alabama is the cream of the crop, the standard when it comes to college football. If they can't get it done at home against LSU, I don't think they deserve to be there. And Oregon did take a loss to Auburn earlier this year. So I know that one loss hurts them. But Auburn is still a top 15 team. They were a top 10 team up until a couple weeks ago. So I think that's a quality loss for Oregon. And again, I'm just being biased. And I just really want to see a Pac-12 team get into the Final Four. So if I had to put money on it today, I think the final four will be LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, Oregon. And we can interchange LSU and Bama. Because, that game's going to be a flip of the coin. I'm just taking LSU because I think Joe Burrow is a better quarterback. I do think they lost their starting linebacker, middle linebacker this week. He left the team for personal reasons or got kicked off the team for personal reasons or some shit like that. And I don't know if Delpit, LSU's All-American safety, is 100% yet. He fucked his ankle up a couple weeks ago in that Auburn game. So hopefully he's 100%. But I think this game will just come down to quarterback play. And I've been gassing Joe Burrow all year. So LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, Oregon will be the final four teams to make it into the playoff. I'm not going to make a prediction on that because I need to see the final results first before I make those final picks. So I'm not going to make those yet. But look for a great game, the best game of the year so far tomorrow, LSU and Bama. And then moving forward, let's see if Ohio State can overcome not having Chase Young. I don't know how long he's going to be out, but that'll hurt their defense a little bit. But like I said, I think they'll still win out. Nobody's going to beat Clemson because the ACC is trash. So the ACC is going to allow Clemson to win out, so they're going to get in. So, again, LSU, Ohio State, Clemson, Oregon to round out the college football Final Four playoff. That's who's going to play. That's who I think. I'll make my picks on who's going to win it all soon. But I'm going to wrap it up on that note. Like I said, this was just a impromptu episode. So hit that like button if you watched it. Hit the subscribe button and drop me a comment below on who you think will be the final four teams. Let me know if you think my teams are trash and if you think I need to revise this shit. So thanks for tuning in. That Real Shit Sports Talk.